How well do you know your Kansas City animal tracks? Get ready to tally how many you can get correct on the first try. I'm going to show you a track and then 2 clues to what that animal might be, its habitat, and what it eats. You'll then make a guess as to what it is. I will tell you, these are all mammals. They have fur, so no frogs or ducks. And remember, they are all mammals that you can find in the wild, in and around Kansas City. So no zebras or elephants. Okay, here's our first track. This is the hind foot or the back foot. This is the front foot. This is its habitat, so it would be along a stream or near woods. And these are some of the foods that it would eat. It would eat berries or crayfish, so both meat and plants, which means it's an omnivore. So take a look at those feet with the 5 toes on the front, 5 toes on the back, and make some guesses as to what you think it is. Remember, they're all mammals. Okay, so do you have your guesses? Okay, so now I'll give you the second clue, which is much easier. If you see this clue, it's probably going to give it away. You ready? Okay. Do you keep the first guess you had, or are you going to change your guess? You can still change your guess. All right, ready for the answer? If you said raccoon, you are absolutely right. What might have given it away for you might have been the toes. The toes of a raccoon are amazing. They're long finger toes that can open things. They can open shells. They can open lids. I've even heard of raccoons that can pick locks. So to remember the raccoon toes, think of it like our hands. They actually look like little baby hands when they're in the mud. And they have 5 little toes, just like we have 5 fingers on our hand, and 5 little toes, just like we have 5 toes on our feet. All right, here's our second one. And raccoon tracks you can see anywhere in the city, out here at the lake. All right, track number 2 is this track. So once again, here's the back foot. Here's the front foot. They also have 5 toes, but there's something different about this back foot. Habitat and food. Okay, second clue is coming next. Your second clue is that it is a marsupial. This animal is a marsupial. It's not a kangaroo, but it's a marsupial, which means it has a pouch in which it can carry its babies. And this is the tail. It's a prehensile tail, which means it can hold onto things. It can wrap around branches and hold on tight. What do you think? All right, you got your final answer? Here it comes. It's the opossum. The opossum is an amazing creature. It's the only mammal that we have that has an opposable thumb, which means it can grasp things just like we can. We have an opposable thumb. And there's that prehensile tail it uses to climb. The thing about opossums and raccoons is their feet actually look very similar out in the wild. They both have the 5 toes. So how can you help tell it's different? So how you can tell the difference between the opossum and the raccoon is if you look at the raccoon's feet right here, you notice they kind of go straight out. So if you take your hand and hold it straight out, those toes are going straight out like this, all of them. But you compare that to the opossums, and you'll notice that the thumb kind of sticks off to the side. That's because that's the opposable thumb that's a little bit longer like that. And that's actually the back foot, not the front. So raccoon track, possum. Raccoon, possum. And they're about the same size, so that's why it's also difficult to find them in the wild, or to differentiate them. Okay, next one, here we go. Okay, here's our next track. A lot different. 4 toes here, and the toe pad there. Habitat and food it eats. Definitely a carnivore. Okay, mammal of Kansas, what do you think? And wild mammal of Kansas. Not a domestic animal, which means it lives in your house, but wild. Second clue, it's in the cat family. And this is what its tail looks like. All right, got your answers? Bobcat. Okay, here's our next track, and it's similar to the last one with the 4 toes in the front, habitat, and it is also a carnivore. Okay, made your first guess. Now we're going to go to the easier clue. Flip it around here. Its tail, this mammal's tail looks like this, and it's in the dog family. And by looking at its track, we can also tell that it's probably in the dog family because its nails show. If we look back at the cat family, we notice that these toes don't show nails. That's because cats have what are called retractable claws. And you might see this if you have a pet cat. They only put those nails out when they need them to either, one, defend themselves or to catch their prey. And when they're not using them and they're just walking along in the woods, then they can pull those nails right back in. So cats don't have to show their nails, but dogs do. Dogs cannot retract their nails. So if you see the nails, it's got to be, if you see the nails, it could be either or, but if it has no nail marks at all, you know it has to be a cat. This one is a dog. Our second clue right here, look at that tail again. And here comes the answer. The red fox. The red fox is our wild dog out there, a little wild dog. And they're not very big, they're very wiry looking. We have a lot of those actually around our library. We've gotten some great pictures of them over the years out here. And there he is catching his mouse. The funny thing about the red fox is he is in the dog family, but he acts a lot like a cat, the way he pounces on things. Some tracks are more obvious than other tracks. These are big tracks. This is the back foot. This is the front foot. You have 5 toes again, but there's something a little different about these toes. Here's their habitat, and here's what they eat. So they are an herbivore. This is not a mammal that you're going to find in your backyard, unless you live along a lake, you may. So, next clue. This is their home, and this is what they do with their teeth. All right, that was the last clue. Are you ready for the answer? Here we go. And if you said the beaver, you were absolutely correct. The back feet might have given it away. You may have seen the webbing on the back feet right here. The webbed feet of the back feet of the beaver have webbed feet to help them swim through the water, push them through like flippers that they always have. Some tracks are more obvious than others, like these. Habitat and food, they are also an herbivore. If you need a second clue, here they come. Sometimes this animal will leave a rub on a tree. They have these on their head, and there's a scent gland on their head right here where they rub it on the tree. and that scent will either tell other males to stay away or females that they are here in the area. You probably know what this one is, so here it is. And it's the deer, and we see a lot of these right around our Schlegel Library here. There's a lot of deer out here in our park. Very distinctive tracks. All right, here's our next little mammal, and this is another one we have right outside our library windows we've seen. And their habitat and their food also an herbivore, eating plants. But what I want to point out about these tracks are these are their front feet, these are their back feet. And, well, that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to let you make some guesses. Okay, ready for your next guess? To fluff that up a bit. I think that gives it away. Cottontail rabbit. A lot of cottontail rabbits out here. Okay, this next animal has a very similar feet to the rabbit. Look at this one. Okay, so once again, this animal also lives in a similar habitat, but we have more trees than just field. These are some of the foods that it eats, but you'll notice that the front toes are small and the back feet are long again. Those hind feet are longer. So there's our front feet and our back feet. They're a little bit different, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But make your guesses. All right, easy clue, here it comes. This is their home, their nest, and this is their tail. And that animal is the squirrel right there. Now let's go back to the feet, because with winter here, we're going to be looking at some tracks in the snow. And when you find a track in the snow, you don't find all those real detailed things like little nail marks. But there's a major difference you can tell between a squirrel track and a rabbit track. If you look at the squirrel track again, the two front feet are next to each other. The back feet are next to each other. These are hopping animals. Rabbits hop, so do squirrels. They put those front feet down, they flip those back feet in front. So even though these are the back feet, it's actually traveling in this direction because it's hopping going this way. Down, flip the back feet in. So it's going in this direction. Two front feet are next to each other. Let's look at the rabbit, compare that. The rabbits, what do you notice the difference in the front feet from the rabbit feet compared to the squirrel feet? Rabbit feet there, look at the two front feet and the squirrel feet. If you said that these are diagonal, you got it. The rabbit feet aren't together when they hop. When they move, their feet, one is in front of the other just a little bit. So if you're looking for holes in the snow of what these animals might have been, if the holes are diagonal, you're probably seeing rabbit tracks. And if the holes are next to each other, we're probably seeing a squirrel track. So, hope you had fun today. Hope you got a lot of points. We just saw 8 different Kansas mammals that you can identify this winter in either the mud or the snow or even next spring or next summer in the sand. So, good luck, have some fun, and come out to Schlegel Library and check out the tracks around our trail. If you'd like to learn more about animal tracks, you can go to kckpl.org and check out some of the books from our collection.